Hello and welcome to this Ielts Master Secret Techniques video. I'm Ielts Master Lee, and today I have an amazing topic for you guys. Super important. Planning a Band 7 Plus essay, how to guarantee success before you start writing. I'm really excited about today's topic, and I think you should be too. Being able to plan your essay before you write it is one of the most important and fundamental skills to master for writing Task 2. Let's get started. Before I get all into this video, there are a few things that we need to cover to make sure that you're really ready to succeed, because we want you to get the most out of this video, and if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. So we have a couple questions to ask. A couple questions I want you to ask yourself. Number one, do I know the basic Task 2 structure? What I'm asking is, do you know that Task 2 should start with an introduction? It should be followed by 2 body paragraphs and finish with a conclusion. Do you know how Task 2 works in general? If you don't, you might want to pause this video, go back, take a look at a few articles on my website or on another website, and then come back to the video. I'll still be here. I'll still be waiting for you. The second question is, am I familiar with the different Task 2 question types? If you don't know what I mean by question types, you might want to go take a look at those as well. Now, if you can say yes for both these questions, well then fantastic. You're ready to go. And if not, again, it's okay. Just take a few minutes, go read up on some basics for Task 2, and then come back. I'll still be here. I'll still be waiting. For those of you who are still here, let's get started. Very exciting stuff today. We have some required materials. Hopefully you have them lying around somewhere. We need a pen or even a pencil and a piece of paper, something you can write on. This is more of a workshop. I'm going to ask you to participate in this along with me so that you can get the full benefit of what I'm talking about and the material that I'm going to cover today. You have your pen and paper ready? If you don't, pause the video and go grab a pen and some paper right now and then come back. Good to go? All right, let's get started. What you'll learn in this lesson. Number one, why you shouldn't start writing immediately. Number two, how to plan first before you ever start writing and save yourself time, stress, and ultimately mistakes that can cost you the score you need in your Ielts writing Task 2. And number three, our Ielts master strategy for planning essays that get students Band 7 plus scores. Yes, I've used this with my students before. Yes, it's worked for them. And yes, it's fantastic. Let's check it out. How do most people think Task 2 goes? Well, something like this. You read the Task 2 question, you start writing, and then you finish writing. Pretty straightforward, right? Well, no. Let's look at how it actually goes if you don't have a plan. First, you read the Task 2 question. Then you start writing. Then you think about what to write next. Then you continue writing. And then all of a sudden, you think, oh my gosh, am I writing the correct thing? Am I correct? Or am I slightly mistaken? Did I misunderstand the topic? So you go back and you check the question again. You look through it again. And maybe you look through it for 30 seconds or a minute. And eventually you think, well, I hope this is okay. And so you continue writing. And you continue writing. And you keep going. And then the Ielts person will say, you have 5 minutes remaining. And then what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Oh my God, 5 minutes. And then what happens next? You get stressed. Your mind goes blank. You can't think anymore. All of those ideas that you had earlier, everything that was flowing, it's all gone. You don't know what to do. Maybe you pause. Maybe this takes 30 seconds, maybe a minute, maybe more. Well, hopefully you can recover from this mind goes blank syndrome and this stress and come back, and you'll probably start to write frantically, write super fast as you try to finish before time runs out. Will you finish? Well, hopefully, maybe, maybe not. This is what can happen if you don't have a plan. But let's take a look at the alternative. Let's take a look at what happens when you do have a plan, when you have prepared. If you do have a plan, this is how it usually goes. You read the Task 2 question, and then you analyze the question. You brainstorm ideas. This is the part where you make your plan. You finish planning, and then you start writing. Like before, you continue writing, and then the Ielts person will say, You have 5 minutes remaining. And if you're a normal person like me, you'll probably think, oh my God, I only have 5 minutes left. But compared to before, where your mind goes blank all of a sudden, this time you'll check your plan that you made earlier and you'll see exactly what you need to do. You'll come back, you'll continue writing, and you'll finish. Maybe you'll have a minute left if you plan everything correctly. Here are 3 more reasons why you should plan first, in case I haven't convinced you already. First, it guarantees that you have good organization. If you have a plan on paper, there's no chance that your organization is going to get messed up while you're writing. It can't, because it's right there for you to check anytime. Number 2, you'll have a system. Having a system means you can do the same thing every time. If you have a problem-solving question, if you have a discussion question, if you have an opinion question, if you have a 2-part question, doesn't matter. You have a system that you can follow that will get you from the start to the end and the best score possible. And number 3, if you haven't noticed already, planning actually saves time. When you take the time to plan first, you save yourself time. You're not going to get stuck later. Even if you get stressed, you're going to have something right in front of you to check at any time. So how do we plan? Well, here is the Ielts master strategy: plan first. Step 1, analyze the question and make sure you understand what the topic is, what the subtopic is, and what you really need to answer in order to succeed and get a good score on this question. Step number 2, plan the skeleton. The skeleton is actually quite simple, and for that you'll also take about 2 minutes. Step 3, generate the body paragraph details. Now for this, I recommend you take 3 minutes per body paragraph. And since, as you know, if you've done your homework, if you've done your prerequisites, we have 2 body paragraphs for task 2 writing. So 3 minutes, 2 body paragraphs, 6 minutes. All together, this is 10 minutes. And then step 4, write. Now at this point, you might be thinking, Lee, you might be an Ielts master, but I think you're a little bit crazy. I only have 40 minutes to do task 2 writing. How can I take 10 minutes to do a plan? This is one of those things you're going to have to try for yourself and really give it a shot. Now, of course, you don't want to try it for the first time on test day. You need to try it during your practice. But if you practice this 3 or 4 times, you'll see just how powerful of a technique this is, that you can take 10 minutes to plan and still finish with time to spare at the end. If you don't plan, and we saw earlier, it can take much longer. Trust me, but don't just trust me. Test it for yourself. Let's get into more detail. Let's dive into more detail next. How do we analyze the question? How do we plan the skeleton? How do we generate the body paragraph details? First, step 1, analyze the question, 2 minutes. To analyze the question, you're asking yourself these questions. Number 1, what kind of question is it? Isn't it opinion question, discussion, problem solving, or 2-part? Again, if you don't know what these are, pause the video and go find out. Ready? Number 2, what is the general topic? Number 3, what is the specific topic? And number 4, what is the question asking? Let's take a look at this example question down below. Some people think basic healthcare should be free for everyone. Others believe people should pay their own medical costs. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. So, number 1, what kind of question is this? You tell me, what kind of question is this? Ready? Okay, this is a discussion question. This kind of discuss both sides and give your own opinion is a discussion question. What's the general topic? What's your answer? Okay, so the general topic is healthcare. What's the specific topic? Did you think about it? The specific topic here is whether healthcare should be free for everyone or whether people should pay for themselves, pay for their own healthcare. And then number 4, what's the question asking? What is it asking you to do? What do you need to do? If you already know about question types, this should be a relatively simple question. This question is asking for you to discuss both sides of the issue, free and pay your own, and then give your own opinion. Make sure you answer the question. If there's one thing, even if you don't do any of the planning from this video, if there's one thing I want you to remember, it's that you have to answer the question. You have to answer the question. You have to discuss both sides and give your own opinion. Don't slack on either one of these parts. Step 2, create the skeleton plan. This is where we start to think about the topic. And for this, again, you should take about 2 minutes. The skeleton. So the skeleton is the structure of your essay, just like the bones. The skeleton of your body is the structure of your body. Part 1 of the skeleton, the introduction. So what's your answer? They asked you in the previous question to give your opinion. In the introduction, when you write your skeleton for your plan, you need to note what your opinion is. Do you agree with this part? Do you disagree with this part? Do you think it should be free? Do you think people should pay for their own? Etc., etc. Next, body 1 topic. And after that, body 2 topic. So we have 2 body paragraphs in the middle. What are the topic of these body paragraphs going to be? And then number 4, the conclusion. For the conclusion, you're just going to re-paraphrase the introduction. If the introduction is a paraphrase of the topic plus your answer, you're going to re-paraphrase the topic and again, re-paraphrase your answer for the conclusion. So let's take a look at this example again. Some people think basic healthcare should be free for everyone. Others believe people should pay their own medical costs. Discuss both sides and give your own opinion. Here's an example skeleton plan down below. Number 1, I'm paraphrasing the topic. Okay, I'm going to do that in the actual writing, so I'm not going to waste time doing it here on my plan. But my opinion, I am going to think of that. My opinion is that basic healthcare should be free. So I'm going for the first part. Basic healthcare should be free for everyone. Why am I writing this down here? Why can't I just decide it later? It's just easier to decide it now before I get started writing. When I get started writing, I want to be focusing on doing the best I can to express my argument, checking my language, checking my grammar, and putting out the best writing possible. Here is where I'm doing all the thinking. So we're kind of dividing up what we should be doing at different times. Right now, we're doing the thinking, and then afterwards, we're going to be doing the language part when we're actually doing the writing. Body 1 topic, basic healthcare should be free for everyone. And body 2 topic, people should pay their own medical costs. Here I'm going in the same order as the question. I think this is a natural way to do it, and I recommend. And here I recommend you stick with the same order that the question gives. And then finally, the conclusion. Like I have before, re-paraphrase the introduction and your opinion. That's it. That's the skeleton plan. 2 minutes. Can you do it? I think you can. Actually, I know you can. Let's move on to part 3. Generating body paragraph details. Okay, so body paragraph 1 is basic healthcare should be free for everyone. We have 3 minutes to think of ideas as to why basic healthcare should be free for everyone, to use our example here. Right now, I want you to pause the video and think about it. Why should basic healthcare be free for everyone? You know, being able to generate details and generate opinions like this is like exercising one of your muscles. You really have to do it consistently to be good at it. It's not something that you can just start doing one day and all of a sudden be amazing. So we're going to practice right now. 3 minutes. Give yourself 3 minutes. No more than 3 minutes for now. Think about why should basic healthcare be free for everyone? Pause the video and come back when you're done. All done? Did you write your topics? I hope so. Here we go. Here are some examples that I thought of in 3 minutes. Number 1, everyone pays taxes. Number 2, all people have right to healthy life. Number 3, healthy society means better productivity. And number 4, people have a responsibility to help each other, rich to the poor. Now you'll notice that not all of these ideas are groundbreaking, amazing, fantastic ideas. Some of them are actually pretty dumb. That's okay. This is a brainstorming phase. I don't want you to judge your ideas. Think first, judge later. This is a key point. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to judge the ideas. All right, I think the second idea, that's kind of hard to explain in an essay, so I'm just gonna cross that one out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select 3 or 2 or 4 other ideas that I'd like to include. I think 3 is a good number here, so aim for 3. So I have idea number 1, everyone pays taxes. Idea number 2, people have a responsibility to help each other. And idea number 3, a healthy society means a productive society. Healthy society means better productivity. Okay, so these are my 3 details for this body paragraph. And I'm done. I know exactly what to write about. I just have to support these ideas while I'm writing, and it will make it so much easier to write now that I have these ideas all set on paper to reference anytime I want them. Let's go ahead and look at the second paragraph and we'll do a similar practice. People should pay their own medical costs. So again, I'm going to ask you to pause the video for 3 minutes and think of some ideas for this topic. And like I said before, I want you to think first, judge second. So just think of as many ideas as you can in 3 minutes. They can be fantastic ideas, they can be stupid ideas. It doesn't really matter right now. We're going to judge them in a second. Okay, go ahead. Are you back? Here are some ideas that I thought of. More responsibility means people are more likely to take care of themselves. Healthcare is too expensive for government to pay for. Healthy people should not have to take care of lazy people or drug addicts. And people need to be responsible for themselves, not rely on others. The last thing we're going to do is, again, judge and group. Here I've decided to keep all of the ideas, all 4 of them, but I've grouped the first idea and the fourth idea together into one since I think they're quite similar. So we have more responsibility means people are more likely to take care of themselves. Healthy people should not have to take care of lazy people or drug addicts. And healthcare is too expensive for government. One more point I'd like to make is that these ideas are not exactly the same as the words I'll write on paper. They might be, but they don't have to be. So I don't have to write lazy people or drug addicts in my essay. I can use that as an example. I just wanted to write it down because that's what came to mind first. And this is perfectly fine. The other point I want to make before we get carried away is that I allocate 3 minutes for this. The 3 minutes does include thinking and judging. Now I think judging and grouping is actually quite quick, so you might want to do 2.5 minutes for thinking or 2 minutes for thinking and 1 minute for judging. That seems like a good balance. Let's continue. Step 4, start writing. If you've made it this far, you should have, first, a rock-solid plan you can refer to whenever you have trouble, whenever you're not sure where you're supposed to be when you're writing. Number 2, a complete understanding of the question, which is really important because, like I said before, if you don't answer the question directly, you're going to lose big points. It's basically like throwing away the test. So make sure you understand the question. And by doing this kind of plan, you are making sure you understand the question and you're setting yourself up for success. And number 3, ideas for details in both paragraphs. It's very difficult to think of ideas for details while you're writing. But if you divide the thinking time and the writing time, you'll be much more efficient, much faster, much more effective, and your language, the language that you use in the essay is going to be better, so you can focus on writing the best essay possible. You use 10 minutes in the beginning to plan, and you reap the rewards throughout the entire rest of the writing period. Let's do a quick review. In order to do planning for Task 2 writing on the Ielts test, you need to take 10 minutes in the beginning of the Task 2 writing session to create a plan. The plan steps, and again for 10 minutes total. Number 1, you'll analyze the question, 2 minutes. Number 2, you'll create a skeleton for 2 minutes. The skeleton is the introduction with your answer, the body paragraph 1 topic, the body paragraph 2 topic, and a conclusion where you re-paraphrase the introduction, including your answer. And then number 3, the most difficult, but definitely most meaningful part, generate the body paragraph details. Here you're doing 3 minutes for 2 body paragraphs for a total of 6 minutes. First, you're going to generate ideas, and then you're going to cross out, you're going to delete the bad ones, and group the remaining ones. And then finally, you're going to write. You're going to write and get a fantastic score, because if you've practiced this, and if you can do this well, you're absolutely going to succeed, I'm sure of it. So your homework. Like any skill, planning requires practice. If you just watch this video, and if you go, oh, that's a good idea, I'll do that, and you wait until your test, well, the chances are you're going to fail. You have to practice before the test. So your homework for today is to write 3 plans. I want you to find 3 Ielts Task 2 topics, and different kinds of topics, different styles of topics is best. 1 opinion topic and 1 problem-solving topic, that's great. If you want to throw in a 2-part question, that's fine too. Just whatever you do, find 3 IELTS Task 2 topics. If you're looking for topics, we have a fantastic ebook. Just join our email list. If you're already on the email list, you already have the ebook. Number 2, practice writing 10-minute plans. Compared to writing a 40-minute essay, a 10-minute plan is 1/4 of the time, 25% of the time. You can find the time to practice writing 10-minute plans, and your score will thank you for it. If you're really, really short on time, even 1 per day is fine. You can split this up into 3. Do it 3 days in a row. Do it 3 days over the course of a week. Whatever is fine. But you have to do this at least 3 times for you to really understand how to write an effective plan. And finally, number 4, if you want to write the rest, go ahead, write the rest of the essay. But at the very least, you need to do these plans so you can practice. Of course, doing a plan by itself isn't enough. You have to be good at the language. You have to practice your English in general. But planning can have a tremendous impact on how effective you are at writing. And if you're one of those people where you can write good if you have an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours to do it, but since the time is so short, you feel pressured, you can't quite get it all out in time. If you're a person like that, then planning can make all the difference for you. And I highly recommend that you take the time to do this practice and to learn how to plan well. That's all we have for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped you. And if you'd like to practice more IELTS, please visit IELTSmaster.com. Join our email list for a free ebook with Task 2 topics if you haven't already. I send out weekly emails with fantastic content, IELTS practice, strategies, whatever I can find from wherever, from myself, from other IELTS teachers. If I can find something good, I want to give it to you. So join our email list for this content. Other things you can do, you can connect with us on Facebook, facebook.com/IELTSmastersite. And then finally, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel just down below. Last but not least, tell me, what would you like to see next? Do you want more Task 2 stuff? Do you want some writing Task 1 stuff? How about speaking? Would you like to see more speaking? Let me know in the comments. I'll be checking. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Have a fantastic day and practice hard. Thanks so much.